Well, hello again. Just a short little live video. I received another letter from TV licensing. Now, previously in the, I think it was a live stream, it might have been a video when I was talking about voting reform and that sort of thing. I mentioned TV licensing and read out a letter that they had sent me. I'd actually received that letter a couple of months ago. Um, I just received one today. So, yeah. This one I've never seen before. This one's an interesting one. Still addressed to the legal occupier. They still have no idea who the fuck lives here. Be even weirder if it said Dear Diablo at my address. Dear legal occupier, an IN0100 code has been issued against your address. We use it to target unlicensed homes like yours that require a visit from our enforcement officers. We use it to target unlicensed homes. Okay. You have a specific code that you use to target unlicensed homes that require a visit. I don't require a visit from your enforcement officers, from your door-to-door salesman. I don't require a visit at all. This letter is a formal notification that your details have now been passed to the enforcement team for your area, and you could be visited at any time, day or evening, weekdays or weekends. Now, given that the last letter said that the investigation had already been opened, why has it now only just been passed to the enforcement team? And they've already been to my door, but I missed them. So, yeah. It's a great line. We need to check you are not breaking the law. You don't need to check anything, mate. I'm sorry. You can't just assume I am and then have to come round and check to see if I am or not. That's not the way systems work. It's like the court system, right? The justice system, right? I'm innocent unless you can prove I'm guilty. And it's for you to prove it. You don't have to come to my house to make sure that I'm innocent. You have to prove that I'm not before going to my house. Anyway, it's a criminal offence to watch or record live TV without a license on any device. You also need a TV license to be covered for everything on BBC iPlayer. As I pointed out in the previous video, no you don't. You could be prosecuted and have to pay a fine. If enforcement officers find evidence of illegal TV viewing, you could be interviewed under caution in accordance with national criminal law, which could lead to prosecution. Actually, no, I suppose technically that's wrong, because the TV license door-to-door salesman cannot really interview you under caution, because only a police officer can interview you under caution. So that's a blatant lie. The maximum penalty is a criminal conviction, and you may have to pay a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs and/or compensation. The maximum penalty is a criminal conviction. I don't think I've ever heard in this country, throughout the entirety of my life, that anyone's ever been sent to prison for never paying a TV license or had any kind of actual criminal conviction. Having to pay a fine, maybe, right? But actual criminal conviction, I'm not sure about that one. I suppose since technically not paying your TV license when you should is a crime, so maybe you get some kind of conviction out of it, but all you really have to do is pay a fine. They don't give you like community service or a 2-year conditional discharge or a 2-year suspended sentence or a couple of years in prison for not paying your TV license. So I mean, the wording is a little thing. Obviously, it's got the fine of up to £1,000 shit again. You know, no one ever pays that. I've never heard of anyone having £1,000 fine for not paying the TV license, even if they like repeatedly do it. To stop this visit from the enforcement team, you can A, buy a TV license. No, not buying a TV license. Don't need one. Move an existing license to your current address. Don't need to do that either because don't need one. Or tell us you don't need one. I don't need to tell you I don't need one. You should just accept that I don't need one. If I needed one, I would apply for one and I would get one and I would pay it, which is what I was doing when I could watch TV. Right? I realised I was going to need a license to watch TV, so I applied for a license, got my license, so I paid because I realised I needed one. Now I know I don't need one because I don't watch TV and I can't watch TV. I don't need to tell you I don't need a license. I only need to tell you if I do need a license. To stop this visit to your home and change the status of your IN 0100 code, you need to act now! Act now is written in capital letters as though it's shouted at you. You need to act now! Yours faithfully, I'll look at Scott Robson again, Regional Manager for Enforcement. Well, I've never seen a letter like this one before. I've got many of the other standard ones that they send out, the sort of threatening, harassing ones that they send out. This one's new. Never seen one like this before. I'm waiting for a visit from their so-called enforcement team, their door-to-door salesman, because we're going to have an interesting conversation. I don't know if I mentioned it in a previous video, but unlike most people who live in a rented accommodation that is just them living there, I live in a flat, and that flat is on privately owned property. So it's not just private property in that it's mine and I can revoke your implied right of access. This whole place is private property. When these TV licensed people step onto this property and knock on my door, they're going to be told this is private property because they probably don't know, although they probably do. Right? They're going to be told that they are not welcome at this property from this point onwards, and that set foot back on this property again is trespassing. At which I can then use my legal right to use reasonable force to eject them from the property or subdue them and detain them until police arrive. And I will do that. Oh, I will do that. They have no fucking clue what they're getting into if they turn up and knock on my door. It's going to be interesting. And I'm guessing I should be expecting a visit from them pretty soon. Because this is a very unusual letter that I've never received before. Don't know if anyone's ever seen one before. Don't know if Chili John Carney or anyone's ever seen this letter before. You know, it's this one. It still comes in one of the envelopes with the extra window in the bottom, right? But instead of saying like what it usually says in red writing in that little window, it says this. You're in 0100. It's set out a little differently. Don't know if anyone else has ever seen one of these letters before. I certainly haven't. I used to get the standard harassing, threatening ones. And it is harassment, isn't it? Really? I mean, I might say I can't just like make a case against this and just, I don't know, bring some kind of criminal proceedings against them or something like that. Because if you don't need a TV license, you don't need to tell them. And Chili John Carney often says if you do the no license needed declaration online, that they usually guarantee you a visit from one of their fucking door-to-door goons. So it's pointless, right? But you don't need to tell them. If I don't need a license, I don't need to tell you I don't need a license. I need to tell you if I do. That's all. You can't just assume that because I haven't got a license, I must be watching TV illegally. I mean, it says it right there on the letter. We need to check you're not breaking the law. You don't need to check I'm not breaking the law. You could take my fucking word for it. If I haven't got a license, it's because I don't need one. Not because I'm watching TV illegally. You can't just assume everyone without a license is watching TV illegally. Because you're not really allowed to assume guilt. Now, I mentioned there to do with the. Actually, this is the envelope it came in. See, one of these things. It's a brown envelope this time. It usually comes in the white one. Right? Yeah, with the extra window at the bottom. You know how much more it costs them to get that extra window in the bottom? Anyway, because I mentioned the criminal justice system. And the way the criminal justice system works is innocent until proven guilty. We all know this, right? You know, you've ever watched a criminal, a crime program, whether it's fictional or factual, or whether you've ever been arrested and gone to court. You know, it's innocent until proven guilty. I don't like that phrase because that implies that you are guilty, and we just have to prove it. You're innocent until proven guilty. It should be innocent unless proven guilty. As in, you're innocent, we believe you're innocent, but we're going to see if we can find any evidence to prove that you're actually guilty. Because otherwise, you're just assuming the person is guilty and hoping you'll find the evidence from it, which is wrong. Because the other term that's often used with regards to the criminal justice system is presumed innocence, which of course is contradicted by innocent until proven guilty. Right? So are you going on the basis of presumed innocence, or are you doing innocent until proven guilty? Because the two contradict each other. But anyway, I digress. That's really all I have to say. Yeah, TV licensing matter. I'll keep you updated with how this goes. I might start putting these TV licensing live streams and videos and things into their own playlist called TV licensing on cunts or something like that. Not sure. Might just leave them as they are at the moment. Do like enough of them. But it's going to be fun. I suppose I could expect a visit very soon. If I'm able to record that visit, I will. It may be possible, it may not, depending on when they come and if I have the ability to record, so on and so forth. But it's going to be an interesting conversation. Now, I know the advice that like Trillium kind of gives and people like that is, don't talk to them. Once they identify themselves, say no, thanks, mate, shut the door. Because I want to talk to them. And I don't want to be like one of the people that you see in the videos that go online where they answer the door and they're like, oh yeah, you're supporting the BBC pedos and all this sort of stuff. I don't want to be doing that. I just want to have an honest, frank conversation with them, point out a few things, tell them they're trespassing, tell them what will happen if they trespass again, and then send the fuck on as well. Because if I could take just a little bit of time out of their day, that could quite possibly be one less person they can hassle that day. It won't make too much difference in the long run, but it might. But it's a good thing to do, isn't it? Stopping them from going and hassling other people by hassling them as a byproduct, which is even better. So not only do I get to help one other person not be hassled on that day, They might be hassled the next day instead, but whatever, right? But I get to hassle them in the process. And I get to annoy them. And I get to show them how much they've annoyed me. And they have been annoying me. Since I stopped paying my TV license, I've been getting these letters. The threatening, harassing, badly worded, ambiguous pieces of crap letters that they send out. Never seen that one before, but it's very interesting. So I guess I can expect a visit very soon. But until then, stay tuned for some more videos coming from me, whatever they will be. That rhymes. And exclude my terrible hairstyle. Right. Hair in my eye then when I did that. Anyway, we'll see you with some more videos again soon. Is the stream going to end then or what?